Alright guys, this is my review of the Chuckworks Slice A5-c uh, chassis for the Traxxas Slash. With the cross-mounted battery, reverse transmission. Um, yeah, they said it was an hour and a half build. It took me about a day. I've got kids, lots of distractions, and I'm real meticulous. Like to make sure everything's perfect. Anyways, really didn't have any problems whatsoever with the build. It went together as prescribed. The only thing, I'll just get straight to the punch. The instructions for the battery gate were really vague. I threw, so I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to do it. Maybe I'll shoot an email over to Chuck. Word on the streets is he's pretty cool, so maybe he'll give me some tips on how to get that done. Otherwise, I just undo this screw right here and then slide the battery out. Got it secured by some Velcro straps that I stole from the laptops around the house. Didn't have time to run to the store. Also took an old piece of foam and shoved it under the battery to give it, keep it from sliding around and marring up the chassis. I'm going to go ahead and get some, Velcro and put the soft side down, and kind of line the area so it stays nice. Let's see. Run a Proline suspension, low C8 shocks with the Ferroni pistons inside, so this thing is just dialed. Anyways, yeah. Another thing I was a little leery about was actually drilling the hole into the rear suspension, but again, no probs, everything went good. Ran it last night. I'm practicing for a big race here in Palm Desert. The Toys for Tots race. It's an annual deal. It's pretty big. People come from all around. I think it's like last year there was like 150, 160 entries. So it's a good sized race. A bunch of RVs out there. A lot of fun. Anyways, so my findings on the track, actually, when I'm running AKA gridirons, super soft. And so my findings is that with the transmission and motor move forward, you lose traction in the rear. Yes, it flies good through the air. You can control it as prescribed. Corners like a dream. In fact, it corners a little bit too good. I was running the STRC LCG chassis before, which had a pronounced understeer issue. No matter what I could do, what I did, I really couldn't get that thing to work around the corners. So be advised. I mean, it's awesome. I did win races. There you go. There's some ones, rookies. Moving up to sportsman this year, hopefully. If there's a two-wheel drive sportsman class, might have to go expert. Grassroots doesn't allow for aftermarket chassis and sportsman, so probably run expert. But whatever, it is what it is. But I do have good equipment, and I think I'll do well against those low Cs that everyone else seems to love out here. Yeah. Besides, I got those low C shocks, right? So I got a little low C love on there. The only thing that I noticed that actually went wrong that I'm going to have to pay attention to is the rear bumper. Rear bumper mounted to the aluminum, and of course I slammed this together in a day. That's slamming together for me. But I didn't use any Loctite on anything. Kind of wanted to see where the things kind of wiggled out too. I used Loctite on the other stuff that I know normally needs Loctite, but as far as like this type of stuff on the chassis, just wanted to see how well it held together. And this definitely, like I said, it's wiggly. I can't think of anything else that you guys really need to know about this. Yeah, there is kind of like a bend in the, you got to kind of like bend the chassis. There's like an arch to it a bit. You can't see it there. It kind of arches down. You got to kind of bend it to get everything to fit together. So there's like a little tension on it, kind of like a bow, I don't know if that's by design or the holes are a little bit off, but you know what? Ran on an 8-scale track last night, huge jumps, no problems, except for loss of traction. Gonna switch over to Red Springs in the rear, rebuild my shocks. Got a brand new set of tires that I won from Proline from this race. So I'm going to go ahead and put some brand new rubber on there and lighten up the rear end with the red springs, and we will see how that does. Oh, this little bumper right here, if anybody's wondering, it's the RPM bumper. And what I did is I took off that front piece. I tried to lighten up my truck last year with the STRC chassis, and I took off that front part of the bumper, the upper part, and it was starting to scratch up the inside of the body. And it was really, I love my body to be nice. So anyway, I took some leather from a chainstay protector for my mountain bike and cut it up, drilled some holes, crazy glued the edges together, and it's held. It's been on there for like 6 months now, no problems. Put a little armor on it before the races so it looks all shiny. But yeah, that's it. If anybody has any questions, hit me up in the comment section, and I'm gonna do another update after I make those changes to the rear suspension, see if I get a little more traction on practice on Friday. And then maybe we'll do like a driving video on Friday, or maybe even a race video on Saturday. It's going to be a long day. It's supposed to be 40% chance of rain. Last year, I think they were racing from, it was like 6 a.m. to midnight. So it's a long day, and it's going to be cold. Not cold for some of you guys back east, but it's going to be cold here for Palm Desert. You know, it gets up to 120 in the summer. So when it gets down to 40, we break out the parkas. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.